Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video, where we are back for another Pool Planning BT Plus Edition Part 4, where we're going to be talking about certain BT Plus units that are going to be coming to Global Default, starting off with Snow and Emperor, then going to Prishe and Yuna, then to Vincent and Sephiroth. Then we are jumping into the FR era with Kain and Warrior of Light, and then we're going to end it off with Kam and Paladin Cecil. Now, I have done this type of video 3 times already, and so we're going to move on to the next couple of BT units. Now, the purpose of this video is going to be to talk about some of these BT Plus units, kind of like mention some important things about them that you guys should know. For those especially who like to plan their pulls in the future, like these type of videos will be very helpful for you in trying to like 100% or hopefully be able to help you in deciding which BT units you should chase for. So in the comment section below, if you guys do want to let me know which BT units you are planning to pull for with the ones that I just mentioned just now, down in the comment section below. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. Also, one thing that I do want to mention is that I have moved my streams over to Twitch. For those who may not have seen the community post that I posted a little bit over a month ago, basically I was streaming on YouTube. It was a lot of fun. The thing is though, copyright on YouTube is ridiculous, especially with non-copyrighted music. I just couldn't bear with it. Like it was not worth it at the end of the day, because I did risk getting a copyright strike on my channel. So because of that, I went back over to Twitch. So if you want to follow me over on Twitch, and attend some future live streams, you are more than welcome to. That link will be down in the description of this video. It would be great to have you guys there to be able to interact and talk to some of my viewers who do watch my videos. So with that being said, we're going to start off with Snow and Emperor. Now, Snow becomes a very solid unit with his BT Plus. Basically, it makes it, or one of the biggest things about him is the fact that after any HP attack that your teammates do, it increases their Brave by 50% of the HP damage dealt. And that right there is very solid, because like it helps out the any characters that have multiple HP dumps. So the more HP dumps, the more that Brave is going to be building in between those HP dumps, to the point where like your HP attacks are going to be like maxed out. Now, he does provide Ice Enchant, Brave damage up, and then Brave damage cap up as well. But like the biggest thing about him is definitely going to be the fact that he has that strong Brave refund in between those HP attacks. So he is a very solid BT Plus unit. He does get a rework, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he does, which will give him like additional like HP dumps and stuff like that to his overall kit. I think he does get a little he does provide a little bit of additional party ores, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. No, actually no. The only thing he actually gets messed with is going to be his LD ability, and that's it. Yeah, that's going to be like the biggest thing about Snow, is going to be that big Brave refund in between HP attacks, and it's really like it's super solid. Aside from his tanking capabilities, being able to reduce the amount of like HP damage, Brave damage onto your party and whatnot, like being able to also play a supportive role and provide him some solid Brave refund in between HP attacks is really, really good. And it's a character that I would probably recommend a lot of players chase for, just because like it's really that good. Like the Brave having that amount of Brave refund in between HP attacks is super solid. So for me, I'm more than likely gonna be chasing for Snow's BT again, just like I did in JP, because I do want to be able to get that big Brave refund in between HP attacks. So I am more than likely going to be chasing for his BT, and I am going to be greening him as well. Now with Emperor, for him being a magical DPS unit, he does get some nice upgrades to his with his BT Plus, or not having access to his BT Plus. His BT does get extended now to 8 turns. Previously, it was 4 turns. And then with his trap does get upgraded as well. And this is the trap from his from after his BT effect expires. So now it deals 4 HP dumps and delays all targets by 2 turns instead of 1. When it comes to his BT effect now adds more Brave damage up, Brave damage cap up, and then whenever you are attacking a debuffed enemy, adds even more Brave damage up. His rework, however, though, like basically makes it so that he becomes much more powerful in terms of the amount of Brave and HP damage that he deals. So overall, though, I didn't BT plus Emperor on JP, but from what I've seen from like videos and some of the people that I do talk to who are JP players, he becomes a very solid character once again, especially with those traps. Like the traps on top of like his BT effect just makes it so much better. So like a magical DPS like Emperor would not be a bad option for those who are considering or wanting a character that is a BT unit but also deals magic damage. When it comes to his rework, he does get a rework, I believe, to all of his skills. So his LD ability, he now starts off with 6 turns of his buff, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's what that is. His LD now gets 4 HP dumps. He now adds more self buffs to himself, so Brave damage up, HP damage up, and then whenever attacking a debuff target is even more Brave and HP damage up, so that's really, really good, especially when it comes to his traps. His skills, more HP dumps is basically what he got with his stuff. So for me, I'm probably gonna pass up on Emperor again, not because he's like bad or anything like that, but it's just I like Emperor's like cool and all. He's like he's a very fun unit to play with, especially with the amount of traps that you have with Emperor. But you know, I mean, he's not. I like me and him never really clicked. Is like really at the end of the day, that's really it. Like me and him, we didn't really click like that. You know what I mean? So, but for those who are wanting to BT plus and like you can't go wrong with him, because like the amount of damage that you got going on with him is really, really solid. He does become way better than what he was previously. So yeah, very solid character. Next up, we're going to be talking about Prishe and Yuna. Now, Prishe did get a unique mechanic, and so far she is the only one, if I'm not mistaken, that has this mechanic. So her LD ability makes it so that she will now deal an additional Brave hit at the same time that you are dealing a Brave hit. So it's like you're getting double the Brave hits. And then with her BT effect basically provides the party with that. Is the party will now be dealing additional Brave hits with their abilities. She also provides Brave damage cap up, max Brave cap up, and that's about Brave damage cap up whenever you BT plus her. She becomes a very solid unit now with her BT plus, with her rework. Her rework gives her more additional dumps with her skill 1, skill 2. Her C90 obviously is about the same thing, but the biggest thing about her is that like now she becomes a very solid DPS unit. And really, when it comes to Prishe, it really just depends if you are needing a melee DPS unit. Like she is not a bad option at all. Like she does what she needs to do, and that's basically shave down the enemy, as long as they're like, you know, not preventing you from being able to shave them or anything like that. But like with those additional Brave hits, like take for example her LD ability, right? So you got 1 Brave hit between all 12 HP dumps. Well, guess what? Technically, that's going to be 2 Brave hits per HP dump. So that's going to be just multiple Brave dumps that you're going to be having, which in turn will equal more HP damage that you will be dealing. And then having that for your team, especially with characters that don't have too many Brave hits, but they do have a good amount of HP dumps within their abilities, then Prishe is not a bad character to have. So I did BT plus her, and I really enjoyed using her a lot, but this time I am unsure if I'm going to actually BT plus her. Like depending on like the banner, like if there's a free multi or something like that, I may actually chase for her. But like because if I'm not mistaken, she releases with Bahamut Divine. So it just depends, like, if I'm really itching to use Prishe once again. Prishe doesn't have any force enhancements just yet, but I honestly feel like whenever she gets force enhancements, she's gonna be destructive, because she, like, now she definitely deals some very good amount of HP dumps. And even as a call ability, her call ability also makes it so that whoever the caller is used her will be getting those additional brave dumps as well via her LD ability and whatnot. So more than likely, it really just depends on what's going to be going on with the banner, if there is a free multi or not. And it really just depends on like how I am with resources, with ultimate resources, because as much as I would like to have every single BT unit green, I do have to manage my my ultimate resources and make sure that I pick the characters that I really am going to be using the most. But Prishe, she's a very solid character. You can't go wrong with her. But I can definitely understand those who would like to pass up on her. Now with Yuna being the glorious ore bot. Well, yeah, I mean, technically, yes, she provided a strong amount of ores via what is it, her buffs and whatnot, but like definitely the BT effect is where it all stand. As long as you didn't have any debuffs on the team, you are pretty much good to go. But if you do decide that you want to BT plus her, you will be providing the party with additional HP damage up, and then now she is also able to increase Brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt once per turn. So she has a small bots effect within her BT plus now. Now, of course, those ores, I mean, you can't go wrong with those ores. I mean, you have those ores from a BT effect. You have her ores from her LD buff. And really the only thing you have to do to make sure that you have the maximum amount of percentages from those ores is, as long as there's no active debuffs on the team, you're good to go. So when it comes to reworks and whatnot, I believe the only thing that she actually got messed with was with her LD ability. So now she starts off with that LD buff, which is really good. Previously, she did not have that. She gains an additional HP dump. And also, when it comes to that Brave and HP commands that get changed, it now also gains some more HP dumps as well. So it really just depends on what exactly you want. She's a solid unit in terms of the amount of ores that she provides when it comes to, what is it, Brave damage up, Brave damage cap up, HP damage up, max Brave cap up. So it really just depends, like, if you are needing or if you want to upgrade Yuna and get those additional things from a BT plus effect and have access to 2 of her BT effects. If you are planning to go into the BT phase with her, then you know, she's not too bad. For me myself, I didn't have Yuna's BT in JP, so I wasn't really able to experience like the full effect of her BT plus and the small rework that she got. She doesn't have any force enhancements just yet, but I do feel like with her force enhancements, she's gonna turn out to be much better, or I feel like she will turn out to be much better in the future. But as of right now, since I do have a BT in on my global account, I may actually consider BT plusing her if I do decide that I don't want to BT plus Prishe. But she's a very solid or a party or a character and whatnot, with all those ores that she provides, and especially if you like pair her up with, like, say, I don't know, Garnet, Ramza, or like anybody else that provides a party ores as well, then like just this on top of whatever the other characters have, is like, whatever your DPS unit is, or whoever your DPS unit is gonna love all of these ores, because, like, yeah, they provide a good amount. So Yuna becomes very very solid with, even if it's a small change, she's still very solid for what she actually got. Next, I will move into Vincent and Sephiroth. Now, with Vincent, of course, he was a Global First LD character, but now that he got his BT plus is not bad, because, like, basically it's like an aura, but it's not an aura. Well, there is something for the party. It's just like one thing, but really, This BT effect is basically affects the enemies in a negative way. So all enemies will now have a 50% attack down, max brave down, defense down, speed down, and then brave damage resist down 30%, HP damage resist down 30% if you do include him being at a BT plus. And then it also makes it so that all enemies are unable to grant buffs. And then for the party, the one thing that he does provide is party brave damage cap up. So Vincent, the way that I look at him, because I BT plus him because, you know, FF7 fanboy here, but I BT plus him because the other reason was definitely going to be because, like, you know how it is, like, when it comes to, like, having, like, all of your debuffs from like, call abilities, from your units and whatnot, etc., having this additional amount of auras, or negative auras, as I like to call it, onto the enemies, like, that's more, in a way, gonna be more supportive for your other two teammates, because, like, that defense down, that brave and HP damage resist down, that's gonna equal to you dealing more brave and or HP damage, you know, depending on, like, your team setups and everything like that. So, like, for me, myself, Vincent, even though it has been a very hot minute since I've used it, and I may actually use him again, because, like, he is fun to use. He does have his follow-up with his LD ability, where you need to have a certain amount of buffs for it to trigger. His LD ability, I believe, let's see. Yeah, his LD ability does get HP damage up, and he now extends the duration of inflicted debuffs by 2 turns, and he does get a rework with his release of his BT. So his skill 1 and his skill 2 do get reworked. His LD ability, I believe, also gets reworked, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it does not. Maybe it does not. I can't remember. I may have to double check on that. But if by chance that it doesn't, then well, I guess then it doesn't. But if it does, then I'll make sure to post up something in a follow up in the pinned comment of this video. But regardless of all that, though, I mean his BT. Oh no, it does. I'm sorry. With his LD boards, derp moment. So yeah, so his follow-up attack does 3 HP dumps as long as you have at least 2 debuffs on the enemy. So yeah, I'm blind. Golly, a man with glasses, man, blind as hell. But no, in all seriousness though, like his BT effect for it lasting 10 turns, and the fact that you're basically just a big Vincent becomes a big debuff onto the enemies via his BT effect. That's pretty much it. And like that debuff has so much crap into it that it's gonna be supportive, not only for Vincent but of course for your teammates as well. For me, Vincent, I will more than likely BT plus him again on global. Only because, like, I do want to have that supportive, I guess, like, negative auras that the enemies are going to be receiving from his BT effect. Plus, he is actually a very fun unit to use. Like, I really enjoyed using him once he got his BT and whatnot in JP. So, more than likely, I will probably go for his BT once again. Now, with Sephiroth, I mean, everybody has, like, a basic idea of what he does. His BT effect pretty much makes all enemies brave go to 1, and that's about it. But if you do decide to BT plus him, which I did in JP, because again, FF7, he now provides the party with 100% attack up, 50% brave damage up, and a 50% brave gains up. So on top of what you can actually take advantage. Oh, and his BT effect got extended by 1 turn, so now it's 4 turns now. On top of what you are already getting with the fact that he now sets the enemy's brave to 1 after every field turn, which also includes broken enemies, you can, I mean, depending on like the team comps that you got going on, like you can actually take advantage of what he does offer, because basically you're just like breaking the enemies over and over. And especially if you do have characters that, you know, get an additional turn whenever you break an enemy, then like his duration or the BT effect duration can last a little bit longer. So it just depends on like like it just depends on the fight, like when you actually need him. But he's more of a situational BT unit. Like example, like him and the recent new character we got in JP, Dorgon. Yeah, they're best friends. Because like with him being able to reset their brave to 1 over and over and over, and then Dorgon is just slapping them, and guess what? If he breaks at the same time, that he will deal his follow-up attacks. So yeah, they're best friends. Let's just say that. So like the combo between both of them is very nice. Of course, every not everybody, but like a lot of players will remember Sephiroth because of Yida. So Yida off the whole Yida Roth combo with using Yida and Sephiroth together with that BT effect active. Is also a thing as well, which I actually did not too long ago as well. So, when it comes to his rework, he does get a rework as well with his LD ability, his skill 1 and skill 2. So, it really just depends if you are either like a fan or if you are wanting his BT effect, or if you're considering BT plusing him, then that's really up to you. But again, Sephiroth, even with his upgrades and whatnot, I honestly feel like he is very situational, and I mean he can be useful in future fights or in future team comps. But nah, he is super situational, not super, but he is situational, just depending on like what's going on, and so on and so forth, and your team. Now we're gonna go into the FR era. And we're going to be talking about Kain and Warrior of Light. Like Kain with his BT effect, B is actually a pretty solid BT effect. And crazy enough, whether you believe me or not, Kain is still used in JP even into now that we are like 5-6 months deep into the FR era. So Kain is still doing his thing for being a solid character with that BT effect as well, with the fact that he jumps into the air and he does his follow-up attack, etc., etc. Kain, he's solid. For him being the first character into the FR era, or I guess like the first BT character into the FR era, his kit is very solid. His FR, it's not really all that. Like it's probably one of the worst FRs out there because the percentages are just not that high, especially if you like look into the future, if you look into the next couple of weeks that his BT and FR gets released, then you'll notice a big difference in like the HP damage bonus that you can actually get with the force gauge and all the other good stuff. But aside from that, his BT effect provides the following: stolen, gained, max brave overflow, brave damage up, HP damage up, max brave cap up, and then his BT plus adds more to what he is already providing. Kain is a very solid character. His FR might not be the best of the best, but his BT is one to actually consider because like it's just that good. And the fact that like even if people don't use this FR but are still using him, whether it be a friend unit or in your team, then Kain is a very well-rounded, put-together character, especially going into the FR era. For me, myself, I will be pulling for Kain's BT once again. I did it in JP. I believe I pitied his BT, and I'm gonna be pulling for his BT, and I'm gonna pull for his FR, and I'm gonna be talking about this in a future video when it comes to FRs, because like it's getting, as we get closer and closer to the FR era, I'm gonna be dishing out some videos talking about FRs, which FRs I'm gonna pull for, etc., etc. But I'm gonna be pulling for his FR because after his FR, I'm probably not going to be pulling for another FR until like say like Kam or Titus, which is in the same month. But yeah, with that, I mean, that's pretty much all I really have to say about Kain. Like Kain, he becomes very, very solid, and I would not look over him regardless of his FR being doo-doo. Now with Warrior of Light got a big upgrade. Like with his overall kit, it became so much better. They gave the man HP dumps galore. With his overall kit though. But when it comes to his BT, for those who do have his BT plus now adds party HP damage up, max Brave cap up, and Brave gains up. And of course, the biggest thing about him before his BT Plus was that he provided Brave regen based on 100% of their current shield value, since Warrior of Light did provide a Brave shield, basically, to prevent Brave attacks, or his LD ability would prevent HP attacks dealt onto your teammates. So I did BT Plus him in JP, and his BT effect's not bad. I didn't really use him too much afterwards, because since we were into the FR era, we were still trying to like learn different things and trying to understand everything and trying to understand the fights, the Shinryu fights, and all that good stuff. So I didn't really use him too much, but regardless of all that, his BT or his upgrades with his BT Plus are not bad at all. So it just really depends if you are wanting a tank that now provides additional auras to your team. And also his BT effect got extended to 8 turns instead of the previous 4. So again, it really just depends on like what you want exactly out of Warrior of Light. But he does become very, very solid. He's probably another one of those characters that I do need to use again, because it has been a very hot minute since I have used Warrior of Light. But for me, depending on my resources, I may just green the guy again just for the heck of it, just because why not? I mean, it's Warrior of Light, and like, with his upgrades to his overall kit, to his LD, skill 1 and skill 2, he becomes way better as a tank. So yeah, more than likely it just depends on how my resources are looking in the future. And then finally, we're going to talk about the last pair, which is going to be Kanonat. So with him and his FR, which is, I believe, still bugged even today on the JP side, his FR is very good. It's one of the more popular ones for some players. I can't say a lot of players, because times have changed. We've gotten different FRs, etc., etc. But like it's an FR that I know, or I can't say I know, but that I feel like a lot of players are definitely going to be pulling for. But when it comes to his BT, though, his BT basically inflicts a trap now. So this trap, whenever any party member acts against an enemy, it inflicts the trap to all enemies for 1 turn. This trap makes it so that the enemy cannot act. It does have a Brave damage resist down by 50%, so that's more Brave damage that you're going to deal onto the enemy. And then when expired, it triggers the trap after the enemy turn that grants the player ally with the closest turn order to act immediately. So it has a similar effect to what El Naj has with his kit. So it's not a bad BT effect to have, because it also provides the party with HP damage up, Brave damage cap up, party Brave gains up, and then party max Brave cap up. So it's not a bad one to actually have, especially if you're the type of player who does not want the enemy to act. Then his BT effects is not too shabby at all. Now I didn't really like. How am I gonna word this? I accidentally got his BT while I was chasing for something else, not on his initial banner release, but like in one of the banners after that. And then I also somehow got his FR off of the free daily ticket. Now, did I build him on my main account? No. Is he needed? No. But I did build him on my second account just to get an idea of like how he actually plays and acts when it comes to him in team comps. And he's actually not a bad character at all. But he is not 100% needed. But though that specific trap debuff that he does inflict can actually come in handy, especially with those type of fights where the enemy likes to jump in the turn order. If they have that buff inflicted, then you really don't have to worry about it, unless all of a sudden they decide like, oh hey, we're gonna act multiple times. Then you may or may not run into a situation. So it just depends on like how the fight's looking and all that good stuff. But no, overall though, he is a very solid character. If I do decide to pull him, I will more than likely green him just so I can have access to that BT effect, or 2 of those BT effects if I do decide to burst with him or go into the burst phase with him. But overall though, with his FR, with his rework, he's a very solid character. He's not a bad pickup at all in the future. And then finally, Paladin Cecil. Paladin Cecil finally gets his BT plus and some love after God knows how long. So his BT Plus now provides the party, which also got extended to, or his BT effect got extended to 6 turns. So he only gained 1 additional turn. So now he provides the party as long as the HP is equal or greater than 100% of the HP. Now adds Brave damage cap up and max Brave cap up. And that's about it. That's pretty much about it. So now, when it comes to the Brave damage cap up, it's now at 50%, which is pretty high. And then the max Brave cap up will now be 30% instead of the 10% that it was previously. So that's really, really solid on top of what he is already providing with Brave damage gained, max Brave overflow, HP, and Brave regen. He does also get a rework as well, if I'm not mistaken, which messes with his LD ability. So now his LD ability does 5 HP dumps, his skill 2, 4 HP dumps, let's see here, and then his skill Uno does 3 HP dumps. Paladin Cecil is not a bad character. It's just that for me, myself, I believe the only reason why I didn't BT plus him is because I was a little bit tight on Ultima resource. But like overall though, if you are wanting to take advantage of what he now provide, or basically providing additional Brave damage cap up and max Brave cap up, like that's not a bad option at all. Plus he is a Holy Enchanter as well, so which his Holy Enchant can come useful in future fights, because a lot of these Shinryu fights have been pretty specific on like which element you need to use to actually deal Brave damage, because like a lot of the recent Shinryu fights as of late, you have to use like a specific element, because if you use any other element, then you're not going to be dealing Brave damage. So yeah, Paladin Cecil though, he does become solid. It just really depends on if you are wanting a character like him that provides like a good amount of ores from his LD, and then from his BT effect and all that good stuff. But no, he's not a bad character. Like he might not be like on par with a lot of other units, but he is good for, let's say, additional ores that you want to be providing the party and whatnot. So other than that though, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I know that the video was a tad bit long, but I mean there was a good amount to cover, especially not going into the FR era. You know, things tend to, you know, more stuff tends to get added to it. So again, do let me know down in the comment section below which ones are you considering pulling for, greening for, passing up on between all of the characters that I have mentioned in this video. And then like here in about like 3 months or so, we'll talk about other characters like Shalata, Yuri, and all that other good stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Take care. I'll catch you guys in the next one.